Hi guys, it's Candice Waddy coming to you live from Auckland, New Zealand, and today we're going to be doing a video and discussing, explaining a little bit about the Lightning Network. So bear with me and let's get this started. Now, the Lightning Network, guys, is an off-chain layer 2 network that sits above the blockchain and aims to scale the Bitcoin and Litecoin networks, just to be able to handle anywhere from millions to billions of transactions per second. And this is all instantly through the power of smart contracts. Now, a typical transaction consists of a sender and a receiver. In this case, Lucy sending Alex some coins directly, and whilst this works fine in most situations, this is Bitcoin. So Lucy has to pay a growing transaction fee due to increased demand on the network and limited block space. And on top of that, wait for her transaction to be confirmed. Now, with the Lightning Network, this solves this, guys, this issue just through the use of payment channels, as you can see here, by allowing users to send multiple transactions to each other off the blockchain in the form of resemble IOUs. Let me explain this a little bit. So an unidirectional payment channel uses multi-signature addresses, as you can see here, and exists between two users for a set periods of time. In this case, 10 days, which will be represented by the end lock time. Before Lucy sends any coins into the shared two multi-signature address, she must first get Alex to sign a refund transaction to her for one, the amount she's going to deposit, and two, with an in-lock time of 10 days. This ensures that at worst, Lucy has to add her signature to the refund transaction and wait out the 10-day in-lock time before her money is refunded in full to her. In the case that Alex doesn't cooperate with Lucy, she can now safely send her coins over and from here sign transactions from the address to Alex during this 10-day period. Lucy can make numerous half-signed payments to Alex without incurring a transaction fee. However, Alex adds his signature to a transaction. Since it doesn't have an in-lock time, guys, it is committed to the blockchain right here, and the channel is basically closed. So this is an example of an unidirectional channel. Bidirectional though, guys, if Lucy signs a transaction to Alex with an in-lock time of 9 days, meaning it will occur 1 day before the refund transaction, Alex, by signing it, knows that in 9 days' time, he will own those coins as such, and he can give it to pay Lucy simply by creating a new transaction, and that's with an in-lock time of 8 days. 1 day before her payment to him, and so on. So each time the channels change, or each time the channels changes direction, as I would say, the in-lock time over here, the in-lock time must be brought forward by 1 in order to overwrite the previous transactions. In this example right here, guys, this is an example of a bidirectional channel. Now, hash time lock contracts, guys, things get a bit more complicated when we start adding more people and using 3+ party payments. In this case, Lucy wants to pay Alex, but they don't have a channel open between each other. They do, however, both have existing channels open with Brian, who runs a popular service they both frequent. The same issue arises here, however, as the system isn't trustless. Brian could choose to keep the coins and claim he sent them to Alex, and basically, likewise, guys, Alex could claim he never received them and accuse Brian of theft. Since there's no record of the transaction on the blockchain, Thankfully, though, the parties can use hash time contracts, HTLCs, just to resolve this issue. By utilizing one-way hash functions, every party member, no matter how many in the system, can prove payment. And that's thanks, guys, to some rather clever mathematics. And it goes a bit like this. I'll explain it to you guys. 1. As you can see here, Alex creates a random string represented by the letter S, which will be used to sign transactions. 2. He then hashes it, represented by H, and shares H with Lucy. 3. Lucy shares H with Brian, and they both agree to create an HTLC between them, compromising of A refund to Lucy with an in-lock time of 2 days, and B, a 100 coin payment to Brian, so long as Brian can purchase S. Now, Brian sends Alex H to prove Lucy has paid him, and they then both agree to create a HTLC between themselves, but this time with a refund in lock time of 1 day. Just to ensure, though, guys, the channel closes first. 5. Alex then sends Brian S to prove he is the payee, but instead of using it to broadcast a transaction into the blockchain, they each agree to /remove the contract and update their channel with a new encumbered transaction that does not require S for 100 coins to Alex. And 6, Brian sends Lucy S proving he has paid Alex on her behalf, and they both agree to do the same. At this point, no one was uncooperative, so that's good, and the entire transaction chain hasn't touched the blockchain, and Lucy has effectively paid Alex. But if, however, say Lucy ignores Brian, Brian can broadcast their channel along with S onto the blockchain and will forcefully pull those funds from her, paying him so as long as he does so before the refund in lock time on their channel runs out. Otherwise, Lucy can redeem her funds, leaving Brian 100 coins poorer. So the in-lock time limit then effectively provides as an incentive for every member to react, and both protects and ensures that each party channel doesn't close before the other. So each pull funds safe in the knowledge, and that, guys, is how the Lightning Network basically works. So, whilst all this sounds complicated to set up and get working, though, guys, the two guys developing the Lightning Network, Joseph Poon and Thaddeus Dryjar, they're creating an interface that will hopefully, guys, this will hopefully make using it as simple as sending a standard Bitcoin or Litecoin transaction, meaning it will require no real extra input from a user's perspective, which is not only very welcome, but will also go a great way, guys, to helping with its adoption. Not to mention, though, guys, the other benefits such as reduced blockchain growth as the Lightning Network handles more and more transactions off-chain. And also, guys, micropayments, which can actually be a thing now, as transaction fees won't be required until payments are committed to the blockchain, meaning users won't be charged 20 cents for the luxury of buying a coffee with their Bitcoin, which is good, great news. But, from a user's perspective, then this is great as well, because all we need to do is agree to regularly update our channels and keep trading our IOU transactions. And from a miners, however, not so much, since they will receive less income from transaction fees Although they will still remain, guys, they will still remain a necessary part of our ecosystem. So while the current Litecoin and Bitcoin networks resemble mesh networks, the Lightning Network, guys, it basically will, the Lightning networks will, we imagine, most likely resemble multiple hubs, as you can see here. Multiple hub networks. As it matures, connected to each other, where users send funds through one central service, such as an exchange or crypto bank, and this is even more apparent when judging their user statistics, although there will always be the option to open your own private channel, which is basically going to be up to you as you wish. Now, there are, however, some caveats. Without implementing the necessary transaction malleability fixes, it's not safe or feasible to use the Lightning Network. One way to achieve this, though, is through SegWit, which we discussed previously. However, whilst it looks set to be activated on Litecoin, it looks far less likely to be activated on Bitcoin, meaning we will most likely see the Lightning Network on Litecoin first, whilst Bitcoin searches for another solution. So that's epic in itself, guys. That really basically is. Many thanks, guys. I want to put out here many thanks to Charlie Lee, the creator of Litecoin, and Joseph Poon, one of the main developers on the Lightning Network, for helping inform the script for this video. And you can stay up to date, guys, with the Lightning Network and its development by following them and visiting their site, lightning.network. And as always, beautiful people, we will definitely see you next time. Hope this video helped you. Replay it if you have to. Bye.